Hey everyone, welcome back to The Simple Creative. I'm your host, Oladimeji Ajegbile, and this is a podcast for those brave enough to start up something from nothing. And with this being said, today I have a couple of guests who will be helping us understand a couple of things. Yeah, I have a couple of guests. Not one, not two, well, a couple. And they'll be helping us understand what doubt is and how to deal with doubt. So if you're expressing doubt in any area of your life, whether in your spiritual life or your physical life, maybe your finances, your academics, your design career, or whatever it is you're experiencing doubt in, they'll be helping us understand what doubt is and how to deal with doubt. So stick around to the end of the podcast and enjoy the podcast. Understanding doubt is quite important for anyone who intends to make anything reasonable in life, and Wikipedia here explains doubt as a mental state in which the mind remains suspended between two or more contradictory prepositions, unable to assent to any of them. Doubt on an emotional level is indecision between belief and disbelief. It may involve uncertainty, distrust, or lack of conviction on certain facts, actions, motives, or decisions. Now it says doubt can result in delaying or rejecting relevant actions out of concern for mistakes or missed opportunities. Now with doubt, there are a couple of things to consider, but one thing you should really understand first is that doubt happens to everyone. It is a part of life. And you understanding this right from now would give you an edge over or to be able to understand and eventually overcome doubt in any area of your life. So coincidentally, one of the major questions I ask during my podcast sessions with people, the interviews, is how do you deal with doubt? And sitting down with a lot of creative persons who have been able to build up something from nothing, this question has been one I've really been excited to ask. And the responses they've given have been really amazing, which I'm about to share with you today. So today, a couple of guests will be helping us understand what doubt is and how to deal with doubt. Oluwafisayomi Toyo, who featured on the podcast episode Understanding Personal Finance, has this to say about doubt.
First things first, like when you doubt yourself, like, oh, is this thing really for me? Can I do it? Yeah. Should I go spiritual?
You're free.
Because when you begin to doubt yourself, like, oh, am I really actually a chef? Do I really know how to manage social media accounts? Do I really have the flair for speaking engagement, to have what it takes? Everybody has that voice in their head. Doubt, it comes from a place of fear. And sometimes it's always an indication that you just have to do that thing, like that thing is actually overcome it, And me, I always look at it that sometimes if the path is straight and those things do not come to you, and you do not have hurdles,
possibly that's not the right thing to do.
No, it's possible that you would not see God in it.
Okay,
so like if it just comes easy, there's a place of, oh, it's me, I did it. Everybody has that personal, so to say, ego. Yes.
Want to be in power.
So how do you overcome that doubt? There are times where, like, should I say, like last year I had anxiety. Like once it's like 11 o'clock, my heart is racing. And that was the point where I decided to be deliberate and intentional about the things that I was overlooking before.
Okay.
It would just come. And so all those things are built up to the voices telling you can't do this thing, you can't. But the thing is, if you actually just like the bigger picture, like why you're doing it, you have to understand your why. You get that a lot. You have to understand your why. Like if you understand why you're doing it, oh, I'm doing this because I want to teach people how to cook. I'm doing this because it comes easy to me.
And with this understanding, sitting down with Victoria Odeshola on the podcast episode Leaving a Lasting Impact made me really understand what doubt is and how to really tackle it. And this is what she had to say.
Doubt, I mean, it's a process. It's not a one-off thing.
Yeah.
Every day you have to get up and encourage yourself, that kind of thing. Because if you have to rely on external encouragement, it won't do you good as much. So you have to encourage yourself, and I believe that once you're confident in what you want to do, it doesn't matter what anyone says. You know, you just keep pushing yourself, keep telling yourself that, okay, this is what I want to do. Make up your mind. It's not going to be easy. That one is definitely sure. There will be some days where, like I said, while I was writing this, I wanted to just put it aside and, you know, forget about it. But, you know, the thought kept coming back. You know, I couldn't rest. I couldn't rest. So I had to pick it up and continue it. So yeah, you know, what I would say is that if whoever it is, if you're facing doubt in your maybe career choice, in your career path, you know that, okay, this is what I want to do.
Okay.
Be sure in that, be confident in that, and keep pushing on. There will be forces, external forces from maybe close by or outside that would try to make you doubt yourself even more, but don't pay mind or don't mind them.
Okay.
Just keep doing your thing.
So while discussing with Victor Oluwayoju on the episode of A Means to an End, he said a couple of things which I really want you to understand when it comes to dealing with doubt and how to overcome it.
Well, and I used to be a victim of that. Doubting myself, low self-esteem, like, can I do this and can I do this thing? But in the long run, you know, we keep learning every day, we grow every day.
Yeah.
And I discovered that no one limits one than ourselves.
That's true.
That's all those times that I would doubt myself, and sometimes, okay, the way I deal with doubt, if I see that, okay, this thing seems impossible, then I'll try and say, okay, let me do it. And by the time I do it, I see the result, like, wow, so
that impossible thing now has happened.
It's possible. So I'm the one just limiting myself. So if you have doubt and you face it, face your fears,
Okay.
face it, and you will discover that there is actually no limitation. Even the Bible says that with God, all things are possible. So once you have God on your side, forget about it. There's no fear, there is no doubt anywhere. Just make sure you dream big, you think big, you dream big, and you have God on your side.
And then you act on this.
And you act on it, you work on it, and you get there.
Now we go to the very last one, which is dealing with doubt on a very intellectual level and also on a spiritual level. And this is what Leye Ogunsanya said during the podcast episode, Design Thinking and Analysis.
You can't avoid it as a designer. I mean, there are times that sometimes it is self-inflicted. At other times, circumstances make it look as though you are not a good designer. Self-inflicted in that when you see some people, and you have to mature, you have to create an healthy perspective. When you show other people's designs that you value, that you see and you're like, wait, why do I move a mouse? Where does it draw inspiration from? That feeling overwhelmed me early this year when I was exposed to proper designs. I mean cross-border designs. Designers both in Nigeria that are doing well and designers outside Nigeria. I started to realize that I've been doing wacky designs all this while. Like, wait, what have I been doing? Now, at the early stage, my response was negative.
Okay.
I started to feel I was not good enough.
Okay.
That I don't fit in. And that started lowering my esteem. I didn't open Photoshop for like a month. I was like, just leave it for the pros.
Telling you.
But we have to really outgrow that and make it healthy. Healthy in the sense that find those people who do wonderful designs you love, follow them, tell them you love what they are doing, and it's a matter of time, keep at it, practice it, you'll be where they are. So that is overcoming the self-inflicted one. The other one is there are clients you may be designing for who there are clients who like minimal designs. You are not a minimal designer. So if you give them your background infused colorful designs, they'll be like, what is this? Do you design at all, or you're merging things together? Someone even said some people are aggregators, they just put everything together and say designs. Now when you hear such statements, sometimes you feel you are not good enough. This person doesn't like my work, this person may reject it. And let me be honest with you, sometimes even now when I send designs to clients, I keep my fingers crossed because I'm like, I just hope this man will like it. I just hope this man will like it.
You can't really read their mind.
You can't.
But then you can actually walk to the point of actually knowing if they will choose it or not.
So every designer really needs, it's a process, maturity in this regard, that don't doubt your skill. What you are doing that someone else is rejecting and saying that is wacky. Now, according to that person's perspective, it is wacky. we don't judge such persons.
So the conversation continues, and if you'd like to listen to the full conversation on any of your preferred podcast apps, the links are available in the description below. Also, if you'd like to find out more about today's guests, about their works and about their life, you can also find the links in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and if you would consider subscribing to this YouTube channel, that would be really amazing. That would really help me. Thank you very much for the support, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Peace. Oh, you recorded. Oh yes, it's working. Alright, good. Yeah, I'll see you next Wednesday.